The name of it is Grant's Farm. Went out of business when my great-grandfather died. Some neighboring dairy farmers came over and cut the hay for a few years, and my two great-uncles wanted to sell it all off for house lots. And as a 22-year-old know-it-all kid, I had the harebrained idea that I would buy it and go farming.
This is a small community, and we're part of this community, and we're going to be here forever. And, you know, someday I won't run the business, but my children will.
Whether a person gives one article or 10, it's just as important. And this, when you let the people know that everybody's important, and they come together, and that makes a difference.
You want to give back to the community. You don't want to be selfish and everything. You want to give.
You know, when I think about United Way and I think about the 40 programs that we fund and invest in right in our community, I know that we are stronger together.
The idea came from, I went to college in Baltimore and there was a market similar to this and I loved it. And I just realized when we came back to Maine, especially in Cape Elizabeth, there was really nothing like this.
It's our 10th year anniversary. And it's a kind of a unique business model, but essentially we went from a dairy farm to disc.
My company is Myers Associates. We sell equipment to test construction material properties to make sure that they're meeting the specifications of a given project, and we sell it throughout the United States. It's allowed me to employ a lot of my family and friends, and it's been very successful, at least by my standards.
We started with just one machine and an old beat-up dump truck, and then it just kept doing more and more work, and this is where we're at 12 years doing subdivisions now.
My wife and I took management of Lost Valley over last October. We completed the purchase in March of 2016.
A lot of people say, oh, you're the ones? Because they're just like, you're crazy, but thank you. So it's nice.
For the kids, it's the excitement of being on the ice. They enjoy playing hockey. It's the smiles that you see on their faces as they're going on the ice, and it's the team building that happens on the ice that makes everything so enjoyable for both the coaches and the kids as we're on the ice.
I come to work in the morning, I can't wait to come to work. I want to talk about cycling, I want to see other people buying bikes, I want to see them get excited about it. So it makes it a lot of fun to do this.
How could you beat it? If you find something you like doing and then you're able to make a living off it, it doesn't really get any better than that, you know?
We talk about treating our customers like owners. As a mutual institution, we do not have shareholders. We're effectively owned by the community that we serve. So that's the foundational premise that we start with.
What's nice about community banks is you have a board, you have corporators and employees. They all live and work in the communities that we service. So we get constant feedback on what opportunities there are, what challenges there are, what roles we can play both in meeting the needs of families and businesses that are customers of ours, as well as what we can do to help the communities prosper. We all have shared goals. As our communities prosper, as our families prosper, as our customers prosper, and we as a bank will prosper.
I in fact learned to ski here at Lost Valley quite a few years ago. I would like to think that we build relationships. That's really what the bank is all about. It's not just banking and it's not just what the company's results are. It's all about the relationship with those folks.
It gives us a lot of confidence having Biddeford Savings behind us. I just feel like they'll be here for us if we need anything.
Biddeford Savings truly has a compassion for its customers and its employees. And its employees and customers have a compassion for Biddeford Savings.
We had owned the business at this point for 11 years and we found out about this place. We knew we wanted it, like immediately. The price was in our price range. It was actually going to cost us less to buy this than we were paying each month for rent. When it came down to it, Biddeford Savings was the only one who came with a real offer. We make more off the rental apartment than we pay in our mortgage each year. It was like, it's been like the greatest thing ever.
Wheels and Waves, and for customers like Wheels and Waves that are unique, Biddeford Savings is, able to open their eyes wide and see the whole picture. Look at, the business itself. They're able to custom design financing and make people's dreams come true. And that's truly what we're all about.
I love doing business with Biddeford Savings Bank because I'm not just a number. They watch over us like a flock of sheep. It's way more like teamwork than it has been with any other institution I've involved myself with over the years.
Mechanic Savings Bank really have the local Maine community feeling of what it takes to run one of these small businesses. They understand what we're up against. They are actually in it to make you successful, not just to loan you the money.
We truly try to just be there for the customer. And what does that mean? That means that you're there when you close the loan, when you start the relationship, when you get rolling. But when something comes up, which inevitably happens, you have to be there and you got to be able to make a decision. That's the difference. Anybody can approve a loan, anybody can open up an account and do all those wonderful things. But 6 months down the road, when there's a need that's out of the ordinary, and they call you up and they know you can make the decision within reason, that's defines the community, because everybody's there in good times. It's when there's a challenging time, who's there with you, and that's where you determine your friends.
Mechanic Savings Bank was absolutely instrumental, actually, in the purchase of Lost Valley. This place is kind of an iconic local place, and they wanted to be a part of rebuilding it. I don't think we'd be standing here right now if it hadn't been for them.
The people at Mechanics you can call and say, I'm thinking of, I've got an idea, what do you think of? And you know, they're there for you. And it's like having your own personal banker. If you have the right personal focus, then I think that bleeds over to having the right business focus.
Customer promise is important to us. That's where it all starts. If you're not serving your customers well, if you're not meeting their needs, then you really aren't going to prosper. You're not going to do well. You won't be able to give back to the community.
Every employee is involved in some type of nonprofit, some type of charitable event. Whatever it is, Mechanic Savings Bank is going to have 1 to 10 employees involved intimately and also in leadership roles.
So if you want to have relationships with Maine families and you want to have relationships with Maine businesses and the communities that you operate in, then you have to be involved in the community. I've always been a big fan of United Way, and what I would always say is, if you ever go out and visit United Way agencies, they do wonderful things with limited resources.
Mechanic Savings is branded as a community bank, and I would say they are a strong community supporter, not only monetarily, but with their work, their dedication, their volunteers. They truly stand out as far as being a pillar, if you will, of corporate citizenship right here at home.
We do take our role in the community seriously. We have a number of staff members who give untold hours in service to the community. In addition to the volunteer time, the bank provides over $100,000 a year in funding back to community organizations. And what I like is people follow their own passions. I may serve one organization and everyone else gets to choose which organization they're going to serve.
Biddeford Savings does our Playmakers account, which gives kids that might not be able to afford hockey, it gives them a chance to apply for scholarships so that they can get help paying for a sport, so they can learn to play a sport. Organizations like Biddeford Savings are huge. I mean, we couldn't function without the community, with people donating time, money, and other resources that they have available to them.
Biddeford Savings Bank's been in Waterboro since 1995. For the longest time, we were the only bank in the area. There wasn't anyone else here. So we've really been a member and a part of the community for a long time. When a great organization like this needs some help, it's good that the bank's able to step up and help in a need that the community has.
Okay, now we're going to get some cereal.
This is an event that the 8th grade hosts each year, and they invite their grandparents in for a pre-Thanksgiving meal as a way of recognizing their value in the community and thanking them for being there for them.
I think it's great when you have something like this, then the kids aren't on their computers, their iPads and all this, and they are actually listening. You know, they're asking questions about your life or what happened before they came along and stuff.
This event in particular is meaningful. About 5 years ago, they had lost their funding for the event, and they were worried about having to cancel. And we were able to step in and help provide the financial support necessary to pay for the food.
Pretty much the people on the stage have been with us these last 5 years. I love the fact that they just don't cut a check. They want to be a part of it. Right down to the bank president, he wants to be here and they want to be a part of it, and that's a really wonderful thing.
The best bet was really hanging out with all the new people I got to meet and just a bunch of people I just got to really just have fun and just hang out with.
Well, I think ultimately the bank looks to make a difference in both the employees' lives and the lives of the community. So that's what makes us different, is just people caring for people.
We want this to be a place where people wish to work and wish to continue working and create careers for themselves here. And we do that in a number of ways. We provide a good working environment, we provide good salary and benefits, we provide training opportunities, it's a respectful environment, and we have some fun along the way.
I started working with Mechanic Savings Bank back in about 2008. I came from TD Bank at the time, which was a large bank, and over the course of time, we lost independence. We lost our ability to make decisions. And in a community like Lewiston, Auburn, my business clients want and expect me to be able to make decisions that impact them and being able to do it in a timely fashion.
I've been at Biddeford Savings Bank for 29 years.
I have been with the bank for 24 years.
And I've been with the bank for 26 years.
I started working at Mechanics in 1989, so it's been 27 years.
I have been here this year, 38 years. I was hired back in 1979 by Jane Norris, who also became the first woman president in the bank for Mechanic Savings.
And I've been with the bank for 45 years.
I really like working here because it's like my second family.
The people that I work with are all great people. They've become great friends, and it makes it a pleasure to come to work every day.
For our clients, it's just the interpersonal touch. I mean, if it takes going to the job site or going to their homes or whatever needs to happen to make it easy for them to do business with us, that's the approach we need to take and like to take. And I can't say that I'm sure that I would have that flexibility elsewhere. I've always been at a small bank where I'm allowed to do things my way, and that's an interpersonal approach.
People love doing business with us. They walk in the door, we know them by name.
Mechanics is very personal and they're very accessible. Even though I'm a small company, when I do relatively large jobs, I feel like they are a business partner. I feel like I have a business partner in them.
You know, we understand what they're looking for. We've always prided ourselves in getting to know their needs before they know what they need, so we can help develop the relationship, build it a little bit deeper, and really provide a full service experience for them.
It is very much like a family bank. Everybody knows everybody and they try to help everybody. And I do love my customers. Some of my customers I've known for 20 years. So I've known them since when they were babies and now they're adults, so it's kind of fun.
One of the core principles at Biddeford Savings is that if you empower the employees, they'll take care of the customers. And with a small institution, that's a really powerful message.
In January of 2016, we entered into what we're calling the Alliance with Mechanic Savings Bank. And this is two mutual banks with long heritages in Maine mill towns that have been serving their communities since 1867 and 1875, respectively. And what we learned as we talked with each other was we had very similar visions and strategies, and we saw that there was an opportunity to combine the two banks and indeed grow stronger together.
What's sort of neat about the two institutions is they came together because we're equals. It really took a lot of foresight and a lot of fortitude for both boards to agree to a transaction of this nature. This is unique. There's only been maybe a handful that have ever happened in the country, and this is the first in Maine. As standalone institutions, we had limited resources to accomplish certain things in certain areas, and already we've had success in meeting certain customers' larger lending requirements that we could not have met individually on our own. We were able to maintain full employment at both companies. We've created great opportunities at both companies for our employees.
Last year, 2016, we actually had 20 employees that either were promoted, were transferred to another role, or they took on new and expanded responsibilities.
Both companies grew customer bases, both companies had great earnings success.
I've seen a lot of changes throughout my career here at Mechanic Savings Bank, and now with the affiliation with Biddeford Savings, I think we will grow and grow stronger together.
Going forward, there will continue to be fewer banks in Maine. And to capitalize on the opportunities that exist in the state really would take us sharing our human capital resources and our capital resources.
And by entering into the alliance, it has resulted in stronger financial performance, which again sets the stage for us to continue supporting and increasingly support the communities and the growth within the communities we serve.